area of poverty. But within our cities, outside of Palos Verdes, we see a tremendous amount of poverty. It's an area that I've worked in for many, many years. Homeless populations, people struggling, as Cacho said, who just need that hand up, not a handout. But I'm also the vice chair of the Legislative Women's Caucus, and I sit on the Commission on the Status of Women. So earlier this month, the Commission and the Women's Caucus jointly convened an informational hearing to discuss a recently released report by the California Budget Project. The report, entitled Falling Behind, discussed what the last 5 budget years have meant for California's women and families. It's no surprise, given that budget, that we're in a crisis. What was surprising was how one crisis caused another, and another caused another, and it snowballed. Some of the highlights of the report include the gap between California's rich and poor is the 7th widest in the nation. Single mothers were the hardest hit by the recession and the recent budget cuts. Older women remained in the workforce longer, but were more likely to live in poverty. Cuts to state child care and preschool programs hindered the ability of low-income parents to keep their jobs or get back into the workforce in the aftermath of the recession. Women have been disproportionately affected by cuts to essential healthcare services for low-income Californians. Cuts to assistance for older women and women with disabilities have compromised their ability to afford necessities such as housing and groceries. Recent cuts have reduced access to higher education for women seeking to gain the skills they need to obtain higher wage jobs in a competitive job market. But here is a very jarring statistic. It brought this crisis to a level that I hadn't seen ever before as a former community college teacher. Between 2007 and 8 and 2010 and 11 in community colleges, the enrollment declined by 129,612 students. 81.6% of this decline was women. Over 80% of the decline in students who didn't go to community college anymore to advance their education, to get a job, to get them out of poverty, were women. Now, I know that personally because I've been teaching CalWorks classes down at Long Beach City College. Poverty has grown in the state, particularly for single mothers. This poverty crushes our potential, our talent, our aspirations. The opportunity to realize our potential is our rightful inheritance as Californians and as Americans. All of us, and I know why this is why you're here, all of us must take steps to eradicate poverty and rebuild the hope of opportunity. As a policymaker, it's very important for me to stand up and declare that better outcomes are possible. Not just possible, but mandatory. When we decide to invest in our people, only then will we as a state regain our strength. Thank you so much for the work that